Merrimack Valley, the corned beef is being boiled, the cabbage cleaned, and the beer is chilling in the cooler as we welcome you to the best hour in radio and to our St. Patrick's Day segment of the JMac and the Bear Show. The JMac and the Bear Show is brought to you by Sal's Pizza, Salvatore's Restaurants, and Riverwalk Properties. I'm John McDonough, along with the Bear, my co-host, George Zaharoulis. I'd also like to welcome our in-studio guests, John McDonough and George Anthes of City Life, and John Descoteaux of the Center Ice Pub. I encourage you to call in at 978-454-4980 and talk to us live on WCAP 980 AM, where everybody gets it.
John, this is our 7th show. You have heard that all of the segments of St. Patrick's really comes from the Greek.
Is that right? So what
Yes.
you're saying is that the whole country of Ireland has Greece to owe its...
Stamped right on its forehead.
What do you guys think about that?
I think that, well, George, wasn't Barack Obama born in Greece too?
He could have been. I mean, he was born in just about every other country in the world.
I'm just going with the flow here.
Going with the flow. Going with the flow.
Well, just to clear the air, the true origin of St. Patrick, the Greek community fully understands that St. Patrick was Greek. Some say his family was Roman by way of Scotland. He was taken from his home in Scotland and kept as a prisoner in Ireland until he was about age 20. He escaped, made it back to England, where he became ordained as a priest and then went back to Ireland and converted Ireland to Christianity. As is known, Mediterranean sailors sailed up the coast of Europe to England, Ireland, and Iceland. Words in Irish for the leather shoe, panpoutis. In the Greek, it's papoutsi, so there is a little bit of a tie there. Also, Goram written for Torah symbols, the thorn and the cross, which stands for K and EA, resembles the Greek chi. The word island means holy place within the church. Both groups love party, music, dance, a pub, a coffee house, and it's where philosophy, meaning of life, and politics, drinking and eating took place. Well, today we are brothers and sisters in remembrance of St. Patrick's Day, March 17th, a feast day. March 17th in Greece was the start of the War of Independence from Mani. But I personally have March 17th as a special day for the birth of my first grandson, Christopher. We are all one people. Happy St. Patrick's Day to all.
Well, that's very, very nice, and I want to thank that was the who or what is poking the bear segment that has become a tradition on this show, and I have no problem as someone with some Irish descent of accepting the Greek community as one, as brothers, and perhaps we can start a new tradition here at the JMac and the Bear Show is maybe morphing the two together, and we just celebrate and have one big party. What do you guys think about that?
The archers are ready, sire.
Not the archers.
Well,
White
I
Scots
guess,
tell me their archers are
actually,
miles away and no threat to us. Arrows cost money. Use up the Irish. The dead cost nothing.
Well, that was nice. Guys, what do you think? Well, again, want to welcome John McDonough and George Anthes to the JMac and Bear Show. They are the producers and hosts of City Life, which has become a regular staple in the city of Lowell, and what I would proclaim as our local celebrities. So again, welcome to the show.
Well, John McDonough actually is responsible for City Life.
No, George Anthes is actually responsible
Really.
for City Life.
So
Well, now we're playing the game, but it's John's house, it's John's equipment, it's John's everything. I might throw
It's
a buck or two in for coffee.
George's
Rarely.
halo keeps us going. George's charisma.
I walk in just about time enough to go on the show, and I walk out just about right at the end.
Well, you
I
did the
don't-
same thing here, George.
Well, it's good that
Well-
you're not renting out a room over at John's place, George.
Actually, the funeral home's next door.
that is actually quite comforting to find out. Yeah. So
Funeral home's next door, so it's just. But we have a gigantic house by today's standards. And, we had a nice family, and my kids have grown up and moved away, so we're allotted a lot of space, my wife and myself. So we put it to good use. It's a hobby, and both George and we're enjoying ourselves.
We like to kind of get involved in what's going on in the city. It's a more local show. There was some guy named John McDonough that was running for city council this past year, and we met him, and I was shocked. Not anything offensive about this, not about John McDonough, but when I found out the bear was George Zaharoulis. Because I just didn't know that. I had no idea.
I'm just a loving, cuddly person.
And George's son we had on the show this week because he's running for planning
he was
board
on
in
yesterday.
Chelmsford. And George's son is a great guy. I'm glad to get to know him. So, but George Zaharoulis, he's like Linda Bound. I don't know if you know Linda Bound, but George is kind of like her because they call themselves Democrats. And actually, when you drill down deep, they're really Republicans.
Another Republican.
Well, I got to say, I'm really excited about having the both of you on the show, and I'm excited to have John as well, because what's kind of interesting is that what it appears to be, and you correct me if I'm wrong, it's been a long time since you've been in the hallowed studios of WCAP, hasn't it?
Well, I left in 2008.
2008.
Because the Spinners took over the night show that I had, and then I never came back. So last time I was in this studio was June of 2008, so it's almost 4 years.
Wow, and a lot has changed.
Well, no, the pizza that Regina and I left here is still over there.
Well, I remember my first appearance on City Life, and again, as you had mentioned, I was running for the Lowell City Council at the time, and I believe John Descoteaux, who of Center Ice Pub and of Lowell fame, had called in and had endorsed me at the time. I remember that.
I'm not sure if that was good or bad then.
Well, I don't know. It must have helped a little bit. I think it was more help than it wasn't. So,
well, you can be proud of the campaign. You're right. I mean, it was a well-run campaign. I think a lot of people in the city were shocked that you didn't get in. I mean, I'm not patronizing you, but I thought it was a well-run campaign. John and George, what do you think? I mean, I was kind of shocked.
Well, you were branded a couple of ways, and rightly or wrongly as the Republican.
yes.
And the Nikki Tsongas's opposition in the future. I mean, that's the image. I'm not saying you tried to create it,
Right.
but that type of thing got, you did a great job with the campaign. Now the question is, will you run again? Because there's a history in Lowell. Jim Milanazzo, Kevin Broderick, that second time is what really makes it.
Well, I would say I would answer it, and then we'll get off the city council thing maybe a little bit, and let me divert the attention to another guy that's here that I think would be a good city councilor. But the answer is I don't know. Family commitments and work commitments are priority number one. And so to be determined. We shall see. I love the city of Lowell. I'm going to be very active in the city in one form or fashion as time goes on. There's no question. But we'll see what
Let me
we'll
ask
see what
you
happens.
one story. Do
Sure.
you remember the greatest baseball game ever?
Yeah.
Which one is that?
1975, the Red Sox World Series, Game 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I had tickets for that game.
Yeah.
And I didn't go. My wife and her cousin went, because I had to campaign for Lowell City Council. I had to go to the Centerville Social Club,
Yep.
or I had to go to
Yep.
the Pastime Club. I was so committed in 75.
Absolutely.
I mean, it was just a passion,
Mhm.
and I said, I can't give up a night of campaigning. And I came in 5th in 75,
Yep.
the best I
Yep.
ever did.
Yep.
I have more losses than wins when you add them up. But that, you hit it. That's
Yep.
the best game that I could have gone to, but the passion was there. So if the passion is there,
Yep.
that's...
And I think that's what it boils down to. I mean, when I ran, I made those similar choices. Not to say that there was a Game 6 of the Red Sox, but there were a lot of events in life that you have to kind of put aside in order to make a commitment to run for a council, and in my opinion, to do it correctly. So
you know what?
can
I think
sort of
you, you just hit it, John. I mean, if you don't have passion, you shouldn't be running.
Absolutely.
But the commitment, I mean, and I'm sure you can attest to, is it's the family, too.
Yeah.
You know, it's nonstop. You're campaigning for 6 to 12 months. You know, you're hitting everywhere. You're not home at night, and especially in your case with 2 little girls. But, I mean, you know, if you don't have the blessing of your family, it's very difficult to run. And, you know, owning businesses and that type of thing, to give a full commitment. And if you don't give it your all, then you're not really doing a service.
100%, and I had that 100% commitment from my family, and they couldn't have been any more supportive than they were. But now I look at it, having gone through the experience, and my kids were very involved in holding signs and just different things like that. But it's whether or not I want to put them through that again.
Exactly,
You know,
yep.
So that's the choices I made. But I think what's an interesting observation is that you have expressed, John Descoteaux, have expressed some interest in the past of running for city council, and do we have an opportunity here on the JMac and the Bear Show to make any special announcements?
Do I need 2 years?
Really? Yeah, you know.
I mean, it's on the bucket list, I guess. That's what it is. I've had some good friends that have run, and I've helped them with their campaigns. I'm a good friend with Steve Jenner and Danny Tenzar, and they all ran some very successful campaigns, and we're very good city councilors. And the timing has always just seemed not to be right with me. You know, I have a full-time job at the school department. I've owned a few businesses, and once again, I think we just hopped on it, is the family. So my wife says, we don't see you now. You know, are we going to see you again? But you know what? 2 years is a way off. I would say I'd be leaning towards it if everything added up right. I would love to serve in the city council, but once again, everything has to be aligned on the same planet, I think, for it to happen. But you know, I really loved pushing the word for you this year. I thought you would have made a very good city councilor, and obviously if it comes my way, I'd like you to be on my right-hand side as well.
Well, I will tell you this. If it does come your way, and if you are a challenger in the race, you will have my 100% support. Whether I'm running, I'm not running, or anything else, you'll have my 100% support. So you heard it first here on the JMac and the Bear Show of the potential candidacy of John Descoteaux for Lowell City Council. So city councilors, beware.
That's it. Yeah. That's it. Do we have a few minutes before break, John?
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to be host of the show.
No, hey, listen, John, there's 2 guys I want to focus in on and talk a little bit about their businesses. One is John McDonough, the McDonough Funeral Home, and some of the things that they do. And also you've got deck hockey registration at the Center Ice Pub. Am I incorrect in stating that?
Yeah, we have the Greater Lowell Deck Hockey. We're located in Chelmsford on Courthouse Lane. When people think it's street hockey, they're thinking they're playing at the lot at the Morey School, when in fact our facility is, if you looked at the Boston Garden, instead of the ice, we have a plastic surface. All the boards, scoreboards, very professionally run. We're in our 3rd year now. We service from kids from 4 years old up, and we have a player who's 58 years old. And we run all the way year round. We had a good winter, no snow this year, so that helped out for the paying of the bills. But we've really, each year has been better and better with the kids. You know, moms and dads now want to see their kids out there running around instead of being on the computer. And we really, this past weekend, we had a registration, and this upcoming weekend as well. And thank you for speaking about the Center Ice Pub, which is right next door to the Greater Lowell Deck Hockey. And we're going to be having free corned beef sandwiches tomorrow. And come on by.
Outstanding. So it'll have to be a stop as I'm stomping around the countryside tomorrow.
Yeah, we will charge you, though.
I expect full charge. Twice. Now, and that's only because you're serving Sal's Pizza at the Center Ice Pub now, right?
Yeah, a little corned beef on top.
Yeah, that's one thing we won't be doing at Sal's. We won't be putting any corned beef and cabbage on top of our pizza. Just mentioned, John, the Center Ice Pub is a sponsor of the JMac and the Bear Show, along with, we have a new sponsor for the show, the Merrimack Street Convenience Store, located at 500A Merrimack Street, located at Riverwalk Properties. For a great sandwich or a last-minute errand, or grab a chance to grab that Mass Lottery ticket, stop by and see my good friend George Barcelos at the Merrimack Street Convenience Store, located at Riverwalk Properties. John McDonough, McDonough Funeral Home. Anything, I mean, you know, it's a different kind of business, but anything you would like to talk about as far as the funeral home, other than the fact that the great City Life is broadcast there live every morning, Monday through Friday, from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m.?
Well, we're lucky enough to have like 4 acres of property.
Yeah.
And the show is produced in my house, which is next door to the funeral home. And we're having a good time doing the show.
Yeah.
And funeral business is a very sad place.
Yeah.
And it's a thing where emotionally, I don't think that's where we want to go on the day before St. Patrick's Day.
Well, let me just say this, though. There's got to be a differentiator. And I know that in your business, and I know that most of the people that I know in Lowell or surrounding areas, when that unfortunate time happens, they often speak of McDonough Funeral Home as the place to go. And I maybe ask for those people who aren't aware of, what are some of the reasons why they choose you?
Well, we don't turn anybody away.
Mm-hmm.